Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're here for the 2023 Memorial Championship presented by Discraft. We're at the Vista del Camino Park, otherwise known as the Shelley Sharp Memorial Course, and your co-leader, Anthony Barela, all knotted up with this guy, Adam Hammis. In third, we've got Aaron Gossage, and rounding out our card is Jacob Courtis. Very different course, different style of play, vibe. Pretty much everything changes up here on our third round, which is moving day. Excited to bring you guys the action right here on the Disc Golf Guy channel. We head to hole number 1 at Vista, featuring a triple Mando. You must go through the 2 uprights and below the flags there. And then you have OB on the left-hand side and OB deep just at that wall. And also, if somehow you get over the fence on the right side or find yourself inside Dukes, well, you're not having a good day. Typically, you'd say it's better than a sharp stick in the eye, but Barela low hits the stick, and he's in the middle of the fairway. I love the forehand play here, especially with the brand new OB on the left side. Just feel like it has a better chance to climb up the hillside and start to slow down, and really it should be finishing away from that left side OB. So I think the forehand was always a great shot here if you have it, but it's even better trying to stay away from the left. Near perfect shot by Gossage. Jacob Courtis coming in at 23 under. He's 6 off the pace. As expected, rowdy crowd. Maybe that First Light crew and others hanging out over there at Duke's. You certainly aren't, Brittany. Anyway, AB, the long attempt, just short. Par likely coming up for him. Wow, bang, bang. Circle 2 connection. And just like that, Hammis is going to jump out in front. Jacob, great shot. In for the birdie putt. And we're here on hole 1. Let's just get it right out of the way, folks. I appreciate all of the corrections given. Of course, I do not intentionally mix up AB along with Adam Hammis. I know they're good friends, and it feels like the same Simon Eagle scenario where they're really not anything like each other, yet somehow I interchangeably use their names. I apologize to both of them and their families and their fans. I will do my best to call them by the right name. I don't know. Sometimes it just gets stuck in my head. And I didn't even realize I did it until 397 people made sure I knew about it multiple times. So I do apologize. We're on to hole number 2, though, 415 feet. This is longer than what you've seen in the past. About 40 or 50 feet longer, in fact. It used to be almost directly underneath this tree, and now they've pushed it back beyond the tree. If you watch the Shelley Sharp coverage, you saw this change take place. In fact, there's at least a handful of changes that were from the Shelley Sharp that got implemented then, and now we're seeing them here for the Memorial as well. Bikers coming through as they're heading up to... There is an entrance into the apartments and hotels and such over there. You can understand how somebody's just out for their bike ride. Maybe they're not big disc golf fans. All part of coexisting, not only in life, but also here in the park. Some cheers from the gallery. High right side. Looks like he's past everything, so he should have an open putt from there. We're going to see AB go with the backhand. He's going to put that one way up. And eventually it does come down, so that tree's probably going to be in his way. And a lengthy putt at that. Just that. Both the lengthy putt and the tree's in his way. Low percentage shot here. Or not. Gives it a really solid bid. Boom. Another great putt for Jacob. He's 2 under through 2. Trying to make a move here on moving day. Wow, and that looks like it was left side. Tried to hang on to the back, but couldn't quite stick. And AB's going to clean up for his par. Amos in for birdie. Off to a great start. Now pulled 2 ahead of AB in the first 2 holes. We head over to hole number 3 at 360 feet. Not much to this. There is the culvert on the right-hand side. If you get inside there, that is out of bounds. Doesn't happen too often, but it does on occasion. We really shouldn't see it from the likes of a lead card. I feel like we equally see forehands and backhands on this. Short for Hamas. I'll also get it right out of the way. If you've watched the channel for years, you know what's coming. There are white whiskers located on sides of some of the tee pads. Most of them, in fact. Not every single one. And if there's a white whisker, that is essentially an extension of the tee pad that the tournament has allowed and has directed, saying that players can tee to where the whisker is, as if that was the right edge of the tee. Some of the tees are slick, they're a little bit old, and therefore, for player safety, they've given that option. This has been happening for many, many years. The players, of course, can use the tee. Traditionally now, keep in mind, if a tee pad is provided, you must use it in a normal scenario unless something like this is designated and set up. You do not normally just have the latitude to go out to your local course or local event and tee from the right or left of it, as AB just barely clears the culvert. So just like on hole number 2, AB an obstructed look, and that's going to prevent him from picking up a birdie. So very slow start. Usually when you're around hole 5 or 6, you're starting to before you take that long walk to 7, you're hoping to be 3, 4, maybe even 5 under. And Gossage putter looks to be on today. easy cleanup for Barela. Not a whole lot of excitement on 3. In fact, quite disappointing for our card as they head to 4. 381 feet. The most common route is to go out and around this big tree on the right-hand side. Of course, if you have the power, you do have to be careful coming in because a big skip may head off to the left side and you see the OB on the left side, the right side, and beyond the basket. Gossage hung up on the right side, doesn't get all the way around it. Interestingly enough, hole 3 had just played as the third easiest hole on the course. I don't think anyone told our group, though. And that barely stays in bounds for Hamas. Courtis sticks the landing. Does AB have the right move? It looks like he does. Gets all the way clear. Look for a skip possibly. And that may have looked a little closer from the tee than it was from the pin, but skip ace, not exactly a crazy thought here on this particular green. Ain't nothing but a par for Gossage. Here's Hamas. No big deal. He's going to move to 3 under through 4. Interesting to see that the only miss he has is on one of the easier holes, but still very solid start. Barela's trying to get something going here. That just might be it. Jacob from short range. Welcome back to hole number 5. They've pushed this one back. Again, another significant change. You have the double Mando. These two trees used to just annoy you when you were trying to putt near the basket. Now you have to go through them Still find the elevated pin. Hole number 14 in the background. 14 was shortened so that this hole could be lengthened. So those are a couple of the changes that we're seeing. And I feel like this is the most common play, is that our competitors are laying up short of the Mando, punching through. Maybe if they're lined up just right, they might get aggressive on a putt. But it really feels like a lot of our players are just simply going for the layup shot to try and walk away with the 3. Okay, well, maybe not Cupcake here. This is pushing high and hard, and that's actually gone past the Mando tree. So he'll go to a drop zone with a 1-stroke penalty. Oh, and my assessment, by the way, was including some of the Shelly Sharp coverage. So I know I look stupid to set it up that way just to have Jacob go for it and miss the Mando. I'll say dumber stuff. Stay tuned. All right, or you could just do this. Not only does he split up, but he goes way too deep. Wow, bringing 14's green almost into play. So that's going to be about a 430-foot drive. He will have an open putt. I guess that's one of the big advantages. If you do hit the uprights and you go deep, you're not dealing with these trees. That is a low percentage attempt from Barela from back there. And this is about on the edge, I feel like, of something that you can really feel comfortable running at it. And Hammes doesn't want any part of that even. Drop zone putt, still very makeable. Jacob tickles chains, but it's not going to be enough. Chain tickler? Is that a thing? I feel like there should be a shirt, maybe a hashtag. Chain tickler. I'm just throwing ideas out there, folks. Working man's par there for AB. Gossage also left a little meat on this. Calm, beautiful day out at Vista del Camino. Gossage puts in for par. One of the other elephants in the room was the fact that Jacob did go into the comment section. He did make a post saying that he's certainly been working on it. He thinks he's sped things up, and he's going to continue to work on it. I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm not going to go on and on about it. Quite frankly, we don't have all that time. But, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. There's really nothing more to say about it. That's for him to get figured out, for the rest of the card mates, and rules enforcement to figure out. I'm just a guy sitting here with a microphone. And I will repeat, I've got no ill will towards Jacob, or Cupcake as we call him. I think he's a phenomenal human. We head over to 6. Par 4, the first one that we see today at 783 feet. OB on both the right and the left side. I feel like the OB gets brought in more and more each year. I'm just going to say that's what you're trying to do. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Of course, you'd love maybe a little bit more distance, but in terms of setting yourself up off the tee, great shot by Hamas, and now AB. He's going to put himself a little out of position with that. In fact, almost flirting with the OB line. He'll still have an option or two, but felt like the prime landing zone is where we saw Hamas. I feel like Gossage should be excited about this hole. That's off on the right side. Just a pair of forehands for him. Sets up so nicely. Going with the smash on that right side. Effective for Jacob. This can get dangerous depending on how it comes out. Oh, but it's got just the right line. So he's going to have a putt for birdie here on the par 4. Looking for a huge swing, and he gets it. Just coming back inbounds. Not sure he wanted to hang it that wide, but he'll still have a look. And now we see a little bit of wind picking up here as well. The next 3 or 4 holes all play pretty much in the same direction. So whatever wind you're seeing here is going to be similar for holes 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that one too wide for Hamas. Hamas gets his spot after going out of bounds, and that is going to be a pitch right next to the pin. A tap in from there is going to put a bogey on his scorecard, though. Jacob doesn't convert. Here's Gossage. And another one that just slides in. AB, somewhat of a slow start here. That is low. So Barela is going to start the long walk over to hole number 7, just 1 under. When you look at most of your players in the top 10, they're 2, 3, even 4 or 5 under at this point. So that's going to be a very slow start for the gentleman who started out as our co-leader today, along with Hamas. Hamas now is going to take the bogey. And he's going to pull back to just 2 under through 6. So leaving the door open for the rest of the field at this point. Hole 7. Different look. Meaning once you get all the way out here, once you cross this second path, everything beyond that is out of bounds except for inside the island green. So it'll play as such. There's drop zone if you go after it and you miss the island. If you miss from the drop zone, you play it as standard out of bounds. So you won't stand there and tin cup it, so to speak, from the drop zone. But, well, hopefully you're finding some portion of the disc inbounds, at least from the drop zone. Pretty big pull for Gossage, really opening up the angle. Anything dead straight or slightly right opens up your angles for forehands or backhands to the green. big pull, but might be pinched off on the left side. And anytime that sidewalk can be seen in any capacity on your drive, you've thrown a pretty big shot. So Jacob's in a good spot. Let's see how Hamas can bounce back after the bogey on 6. Is that catch edge? He's asking for it. Hamas going with the big spike to try and find the island. It just misses the basket. Also on the island, we'll find Anthony Barela. Oh, some tandem bike riding? Come on. I love it. I swear these are impromptu. I did not see the footage here. I did not do this edit. But my question for you guys is, if you could pick any pro to hop on a tandem bike with, who would that be? That's the question I need answered in the comments. We see 4 guys now on the island and 2, exactly as you would hope for. But the question is, who is your tandem bike rider? Pick a pro that we would know, or not. I mean, if you want it to be your mom or your grandpa, I'm cool with that too. But Cupcake finds the bottom of the basket, in for birdie. Who would your tandem bike rider be? That's what I need to know. Now AB is in for birdie. I think I have a pretty hilarious picture and or video 6, 8, 10 years ago at this tournament. Oh, thanks, AB. Of Drew Gibson along with Derek Billings out riding a tandem bike around this course. That's out there somewhere. All right, making it look like child's play here. And the tap in for Gossage. We head over to hole number 8, 360 feet downhill. Very reachable. Often in calm conditions, you'll see mid-ranges or even putters. Sometimes we see a big spike hyzer out and around to the right side with a sharp edge. Forehands. I mean, this hole really calls for pretty much anything you want, especially when it's this calm out. Low line drive for Gossage. He's 4 under through 7, trying to get to 5. That's how math works, guys, here in this little sport of disc golf. Outside the circle for AB, so he'll have work to do. This looks good. Because it is near park job for Jacob. And I'll just say this, because we see a lot of Instagram posts from Anthony along with Adam here on this particular hole. It's kind of a standing rule. Like, you don't play Vista without posting about it from this hole. So Adam comes up short, and really a mistake you would never expect to see out of him on this particular hole. He still has the look for par. So Hamas almost saves the par. AB just off the mark. Starting to wonder if there's some kind of force field around this basket. This is playing as the 4th easiest hole on the course, and only Jacob takes advantage of it. It's going to be a tap-in bogey for Hamas. Should be a tap-in there for AB. He stays at just 2 under. That's where Adam is now after the bogey. And Gossage at 4. We're going to head over to hole number 9. If I were playing here, this would be my least favorite, only because you're looking to actually throw this line if you've got the power, exactly as the drone flies. Usually we see a flex out and over with the righty backhand. They'd love to have it then hyzer back. You have to worry about, of course, the OB sidewalk on the right and then the pond on the left. Jacob, exactly what I was just talking about. And that's, as they say, some say here in Arizona, that's a big boy drive. Gossage, understandably, going to go with the forehand. If you've got this kind of power, God bless you. He's got the power, and it checks up. Looks like he took a little off that one, because I know he can get it to the pin, but back at the Shelley Sharp, we saw a few mistakes here, so maybe he's making corrections from there. AB also with plenty of power. Oh, and that's going to go out of bounds for AB. What can Hamas do? And that ultimately filters through, but should be an easy up and down for Hamas from here. And trying to stay away from the water, going with the forehand standstill. AB, by out of bounds, I should clarify, was stuck in the tree, 6 feet 6 inches or above. That is considered out of bounds at this tournament. Make sure you check with your tournament director before any event as to whether or not. The default is that that rule is not in effect. However, tournament directors on any given event can deem the entire event or entire course, one particular tree, one particular hole. They can deem the 6-6 rule in effect if they so choose. And at this tournament, both courses, it's in effect. And what a birdie there by Courtis. There were only 2 on the day. Spoiler, folks. Him and Chris Pates. Sorry if I chop that up for you, Chris. But him and Chris, the only 2. It's truly a bonus. And thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things I always demand of you. Think about being a Patreon supporter so you can help the coverage, or shop at thediscgolfguy.com. Shop.thediscgolfguy.com. We'll get you there. How convenient. That's all from the front 9 of moving day. We'll see you guys for the exciting conclusion at Vista del Camino, round number 3.